Hello, hello. Today I'm going to show you how to create the multicolor perfect circle without any seams. If this is something you want to do, please keep watching. To begin with, you will need a 4mm hook, well 4.5, and some t-shirt yarn or any yarn of your choice. Now you're going to make magic circle and you're going to insert 6 single crochets into that circle. So this is 1, tighten the knot if you need it. This is 2, 3, and of course I had to speed it up, it was taking forever. When you're recording, that's what happens. Then you're going to tighten the magic knot and you're going to connect this circle. So pull the yarn, make a little tongue, pull a little tail outside, and now you're going to go back into that first single crochet that you made, and you're going to insert your hook from the back and you're going to pull the yarn through. Once you have the yarn on the other side, you're going to pull the entire circle, the entire first row, through that loop, and you're going to tighten the working yarn. So start tightening it on the side of the working yarn, and then again, once you reach the circle, tighten it on the other side. It is a lot easier to just watch instead of listening. I might not make any sense. Now you're going to insert your hook in between these single crochet, so not in the chain space that's on top, but in between, and you're going to insert it in the first space from that working yarn that we just finished. Then you're going to make the first stitch, and in this row we're going to do 2 single crochets in each space, so make sure you're working in between these stitches. So really soon I will show you again what it looks like in between. So make sure you're working in between and you are inserting 2 stitches. When you finish this row, you will have 12 stitches in total. At this point, it may seem a little bit hard to pull your hook through, and that's true. If you're working a little bit tight as I am, it is going to be a little bit hard at first, but second row is going, and all other rows are going to go a lot faster. I find this first circle and the second circle to be the most fiddly. When you reach the end, make sure you count how many stitches you have. And if you have 12 stitches, that's done. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to repeat what we did, the way we ended the previous row. You're going to do the same. So right here, I'm counting, and this is 12. The 12th stitch is on the hook, and I'm going to pull the hook through that first single crochet of the row and pull the tail, and then push the whole circle, the whole yarn through. I mean the thing, I don't know what to call it, honestly, my work. I'm just going to push my work through that tail, and then I'm going to tighten that magic knot even further. Now we're going to do row 3. Again, you're going to put your hook through that first space, and this is what it looks like. It's right in between the stitches. For this row, we're going to do an increase in every second stitch. So I did 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets all around. When you finish this row, you will have 18 stitches in total. make sure to know exactly where you're working, and you're going to finish the row with 2 single crochets in that last stitch. Now you're going to pull that tail again, and you're going to go with your hook into that first single crochet and pull the yarn through, pull the tail out a little bit, and pull the whole circle through that yarn. Now tighten the working yarn on one side and on the other, and this row is done. As easy as that. Now I will change the color, and this is how I do that. So you have to cut off the excess yarn and the other yarn that you were using. And now I'm going to insert the new yarn into that first chain space where I'm going to start working my next row. It's pretty much the same, nothing changes, that just that you can try to work this extra yarn, this little tail, into your crochet, into the whole item, but I did not do it right now. Anyways, this row we're going to do increase in every third stitch. So you're going to have 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then you're going to have 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So you will be repeating this. So 2 single crochets, and then you're going to have increase in the third stitch. So this is what we are doing. When you have an increase, you're going to try to do it not on the increase of the previous row, but in the single crochet of the previous row, because this way the circle is going to be completely even. All right, so I skipped this part, and here I am at the end. And of course, every single row I finish with 2 single crochets. If you follow this pattern, you will make a perfect circle. You will not have any issues whatsoever. It's going to lay flat and it's going to look impeccable. So right now we are finishing the row in the same way. I slowed it down a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing again. There is another video where I do it a little bit slower, but I'm going to try to do it here as well. So you're going to tighten the yarn, and this row is done. So now we're going to start the next row. In this row, we're going to have an increase in every fourth stitch. So I'm going to insert the yarn, insert the needle into that first chain space that's from that working yarn that we just finished with the previous row, and then I'm going to have 3 single crochets, and in the next one I'm going to have an increase. So you see how the increase is going to happen after the increase of the previous row. This is very important, because if you do an increase on top of that increase from the previous row, your circle is not going to be even. It's going to be a little bit lopsided, and it may end up looking completely different. It's not good for the work. So here it is again. You do 3 single crochets, and then you do a double, 2 single crochets in one chain space, and practically you don't even have to count. You just need to follow the previous row. So if you see that you had an increase, you will know that after that increase you will have increase in this row. Once you finish this, you're going to finish this row in the same way. Pull the yarn through, make that tail and the loop, and pull the whole circle through the loop. Tighten the working yarn on one side and then tighten it on the other, and this circle is done. So pretty much this is the way that you're going to do it. Every row you're just going to increase by 1 stitch where you're going to have 2 single crochets. So you're just going to add 1 chain space. Like for example, this row we're going to do 4 single crochets, and then we're going to have increase in the 5th. Okay, so this is the 2nd single crochet, and then the 3rd and the 4th are on top of the increase of the previous row. And then in the next chain space, in the next stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. As you can see, everything is happening, all the increases are happening right after the increase of the previous row. So you cannot make a mistake. You don't even have to count. But if you wish to count to be sure, you can always count. So you count 4 stitches, 4 single crochets in each stitch, and then you're going to have 2 single crochets in the following. So that's how you're going to do, and you're going to finish the row with the 2 single crochets in one stitch with 1 increase, and then you're going to finish the loop in the same way that you did for all the previous row. As you can see, you just need to pull the yarn through, and then you're going to tighten the working yarn. So practically this is what we will be repeating over and over again. You can go as big as you want to. You can even create like one of those rugs for the bathroom this way. You can create kitchen stuff with this. I don't really know what they're called, but for example, when you want to put something hot on the table, or you can even create small ones that are going to be the coasters for the cups, and anything that you actually need. I'm going to create something cute with this, something that is more fashion wise. Anyways, this row is going to be increase in every 6th stitch. So you're going to have 5 single crochets, and then in the 6th chain space you're going to have 2 single crochets. So you're creating an increase. Again, that increase comes right after the increase of the previous row. So don't do your increase on top of the increase of the previous row, do it right after. And if you count it, it's going to fall right where it should. So this is the way that you're going to finish the row. As you can see, I'm counting here 5 stitches and then an increase, 5 stitches and then an increase. And the increase is done right after the increase of the previous row. Here I'm adding another color, which I decided to change later, but that's besides the point. In this row, you will have an increase in every 7th stitch, if I'm counting correctly. So you're going to do 6 single crochets, and in the 7th, you are going to have an increase. Again, the increase will fall directly into the stitch that is right after the increase of the previous row. This is actually very easy. Once you do it a few times, you will understand the principle, and honestly, it's very good practice. I love these circles. And you're going to continue like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in the 7th, you're going to have an increase, and so on. And everything will fall exactly where it should. So this is me dealing with the yarn on the back side, but as I said, you can work your yarn into the item that you're creating. You don't need to do these things, but this is also very easy, and then it becomes completely seamless. You cannot see where you put the yarn together and where you connected it. So here I was just showing you how to do the following. The next row, so it's going to be in the 8th stitch, you're going to have an increase and so on, but here I decided to stop, and because it was already big enough for my next project. And this is the finished result. I really love them. I wanted them to be different colors. Let me know what you think and which one you like better, which colors. I'm not really sure because I like colors, but I also like more of nudes and neutrals. So maybe I lean towards the pinkish one on the left. But both of them are very, very cute. And I really hope that you will like what I'm going to use them for. So if you want to see how I'm going to use them, please subscribe and like, comment, and share. And make sure to press the notification bell not to miss out the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.